Brother and Gen Muhoozi, the Special Presidential Advisor on security for coming to northern Uganda once again, and on this particular occasion for coming to evaluate, assess, and hear for himself firsthand the insecurity caused by the Karamojong warriors who have now dominated this area in terms of cattle rustling. They don't only rustle cattle, but they even take people's goats, cows, they rape women and abduct children, and have caused a kind of insecurity never seen in this area. Very heinous insecurity. The UPDF has done everything possible within their means to deal with this insecurity. The President is fully aware of the situation. The challenge in this particular case is that these Karamojong warriors who are causing the insecurity here in northern Uganda, where else they are bandits, thugs, and thieves. They are not enemies of the state as such. So in dealing with them, the UPDF cannot deal with them in terms of dealing with as enemies coming from across the border or people who threaten the national security of this country. We deal with them as Ugandans who are broken the law, and then criminals who have broken the law. It has in the context in which the UPDF have to deal with these Karamojongs. So it makes the matter a bit complicated. Nevertheless, we are confident that with the disarming of these Karamojongs in the areas, with the UPDF now stepping up its strategies and bringing up more reinforcement and bringing up more equipment and other strategies to deal with these Karamojongs, we are sure that this matter will be brought to an end very, very soon. It's very unfortunate that many people lost their lives and lost their properties, but that is something the government will address later on in terms of compensation and trying to address the mistakes that were brought about and the errors that were brought about by the Karamojong. But we're happy that Gen Muhoozi is here to listen firsthand from the Wananchi, to listen firsthand from the leadership, and to listen firsthand from members of parliament, including myself, as to what we have seen on the ground, what our views are on the ground, and what are the possible solutions in bringing this matter to an end. The immediate measures that need to be, we need to increase what we call security roads to make it easy for the UPDF to move and become more mobile. Soon this place will be overgrown with tall grasses and bushes, and will make it very difficult for the UPDF to move. So we need increase in security roads. We need to identify the routes that these Karamojong warriors use to come into these areas. These people use more or less the same routes every year. We need those routes occupied, dominated by the UPDF. We need to bring in more technology. For example, I've been urging that we need the government to bring in armored personnel, the APCs, the Mambas, so that they are more agile, move faster in this terrain, because the Mambas can move on the roads and on the bushes, which will be good. But on top of that, we would get roads also built. Another technology which I think would help in the modern warfare, these good days, or in dealing with this kind of situation, I think we need to, government has to invest in drones. Drones will be very effective in going out there, doing surveillance, and identifying the movement of these Karamojongs, whether they're coming in or whether they're going out after a raid, in order for the army to be able to pinpoint exactly where these people are, and in order to reduce time and resources in order to capture them. So I'm happy that and many others, which of course will be proposed by the members of the UPDF, but I'm happy that the general is here. This is a sign of the seriousness in which government takes this matter. This is an indication of how the President wants first-hand information from his own son, and hence I think they will be getting appropriate solution. And these Karamojong warriors are armed with modern AK-47s. They are well trained amongst themselves. They are very familiar with the terrain here, better than anybody else, and they're also very familiar with hiding place where they can hide and rest when they're being followed by members of the UPDF. So they're very skilled. They're very skilled individuals, but very dangerous individuals, because they kill people, not rape women who are out in this gardening season. Women out in the field digging, and women are raped, unfortunately, and young children are abducted, and they take young children and turn those young children to their own children, which you'll never be able to find again. So it is a very dangerous situation. It is a very serious situation, but I'm happy that the president now has scaled up the solution by sending Gen Muhoozi here to find a solution.
Coma Beach, make it go.
The RDC,
it
go.
Make it go.
LC3 chairpersons,
We come here there for Wang Magitikan.
Religious leaders,
Lieutenant Medini, my papa.
My fellow senior officers of UPDF,
Ludiremonyo Wang Magitikan, may UPDF.
ladies and gentlemen.
Mon Kicho Wang.
First of all, let me start by saying that I'm very happy to be back in Kitgum after a number of years.
Muko Amirwa in a yum to 12 Medugi Kirgum district, Madonga Natal Karamalach.
Kitgum, we have a very special connection to Kitgum because of my big brother here, Honorable Oriem.
What ikin en kikid gum ti mutu de 12 pio mien na bere matikan ma la diru keloriem.
And of course his father, the late president Tito Okello.
Kidong won la dit Tito Okello lutwa.
He gave you a brief background of how we lived together in exile in Tanzania.
Ena no we ken magen ke ko kere karmaiti Tanzania.
And I really loved the old man. I loved Mzee Tito very much. I used to spend a lot of time with him.
En yang ne ma la dit li Tito lutwa tutwal unubare ibering at en ter.
So when my sister told me that the people are suffering, I felt very concerned. That's why I had to come.
Ikarma Lilian abe MP wuma mara wa yene down tika dero cham.
First of all, I want to, on behalf of the government and the UPDF, I want to sincerely apologize for the suffering you have experienced.
Muko meka wang mun me Uganda eme lego kija botu pipe Ramadan kariye.
We are very sorry, and it is something that hurts us when our people suffer.
Gen tiki chue chuin dak bena gi par pingo maun kariye dak chuero chuin di ter kay winyu lok maun tika lokonen.
We have done a lot to combat this vice of cattle rustling by the Karamajong.
Ento be dul palumon gutu ta dotwal mena negi ber galoin ikum kormujo.
But obviously we still need to plug a few gaps.
Ento ti matek fod mete mena ni bu mo mo kana matit wono ni kichulo ko.
I held a security meeting with the commanders of UPDF this morning in Kitgum.
Aber gi ka choke ikidgum kachel ki jo magiti lokum kuchoko weng kachel ki lo diremon mafot pe biro kan.
They told me some of the problems they are facing.
Gen bere go tiro bot en peki magen gitiga none idok tij magitiga tivene ni.
In their operation,
Itij magen gitiga tivene kombedi.
and I will be taking this back to the president so that we help them do a better job.
Lokano ni weng en big waro ge peratere do bol la dit lobo we kenen la gamme wakti ba jore wor mabe.
I can mention some of the problems they mentioned. They talked of more manpower.
Ikin peke muken magen gulo gen go kok no mer ki med welu mon muken ne.
3rd Division, we had already topped it up. It is now a full division, but the plan is to have extra manpower so that they can patrol that boundary between Acholi and Karamoja.
Ibara kwan madip mano jui kubu kien kwani kemer welu mon yana no ni fot peromo enda ka bichero ka lok ni kemer welu mon mukene ba ko bin kamiyo kwan.
They talked of a security road because sometimes an attack takes place somewhere, but getting to that place is difficult because there's no road.
Ikimpeke mage kwano ki waye lok pa yo mage loni security road ya ka peromo ti me genti ki ker me riyo yo me o me yo kwan bodan.
We have started on one in Karamoja, but they have told me we need another one on the border with the Karamoja.
Look, me security road don't get you now. Inside me Karamoja puja. Don't give it to go for wakan bene. Me timon me for you ni. We have no game go beski karo. Me re yo kat perote me.
Once we have that security road, then we can deploy along that road because it will be easy to supply food and so forth.
That security road any don ki yo ma don tie ma be. Kere wari o mon me ne ani go gwa ko the angle ni ani don beru yo ki board game.
They also mentioned an issue to do with the Air Force. We had our helicopters in Karamoja that were helping, but apparently they were with the drone, so it has affected operations also.
We can put them on your burning. Dig a man, a young conyo game, make a moti, make you or your make you call or Johnny, who know it do and burn it to a ping, a bit of a leg on enemy of it walk, digging it on the army con.
So the Air Force will come back to help their operations.
So digging any bit well, me coin, you know you come John.
They talked of transport, as the minister was saying. Some of them don't have vehicles. So that is also an issue we have to sort out. We have to get command vehicles for the units.
Why can Ben go away look up, pero make you what, Mamegi, Magayo Gerio, your Kagino lock. See, look, any banner to a ping, if it's your Katiji.
They also talked of returning ASTU, the anti-stock safety unit of police, to return it back to Acholi.
Game Ben go away your knee. Kimeroke duok as to do pass to mano yang ti kien gangi o meroke duok geo pen game da ko nyo gano yo me meroko tik pamon.
As to if those who are old enough, it used to be here, but then they got deployed outside this area. Many of them are old, so we have to rebuild ASTU. We have to recruit again and reconstitute it.
O any dul pass to nene mukano dong jo ne ko chero mara ko chero ki jo mukano ke tole ka tik kam mukano endo ke no ne pera te o mer ke duok dul ne ho chen iken gang wa ko mi ko dak bana ke bi choya mukano me mere ko tik pamon.
In spite of all these difficulties, we have registered a lot of successes against the Karamojong, and those who are old enough again, you can remember the Karamojong used to attack in big groups. They would come in huge groups. But these days, because of the success of operations, they now come in small groups. They fear to move in big groups. They know they will be hit.
Well, you can't get bed call for tea, and Ben Miro Money, Mon Gutte, Catel Kilo like a down or wing. Nicom Belemo alone, the Kirkako, Pacon Mujong Tie, Comberi Chavani, I can't a tiny, Unogi Bini Dul Madid. I tell you, no well good dog, the Bini Dul Manona, and I took a medic, no, you Mukane, Mejuayo, Perronio.
Now, I wanted the division commander, 3rd Division, to come and give us briefly some of the achievements so far, so that you hear. You shouldn't think that nothing is being done. Really, the Karamojong are not having it easy. Those raiders are not having an easy time. And I want you to hear from him, some of the achievements that the army has made. So, if you can go through that, the achievements.